Hello everyone, welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to Josh Doesn't Understand Windows or How to Computer. This is an annoying thing that keeps happening every live stream, and so of course I forget by the time I get off. So someone just answer this for me. Why randomly when I click on a picture in my library, I just double click, brings up the picture, and it's in this. I have no idea what this is. It's a viewer. I don't know who it's from. I don't know how to figure that out. But it has this beautiful zoom on it. How cool is that? And then sometimes when I click on pictures, and this seemed to happen when I was in my cat folder, so I don't know if there's like some weird setting. Nope, this one has zoom now too. So what was it about last time that was opening it in some other device that did not have a zoom view on it? Oh well, we'll just stare at these luscious pectorals while I contemplate this. No, that's not what we're gonna do. Today we're gonna get the torso. This is the last part of his body that needs to be brought up to the standards of the rest of the body. I'm pretty happy with everything else, the arms, the head, the feet. Oh, I guess the hands are going to still need a little bit of work too. But I really want to do the body tonight. So, what am I trying to do with the body? Damien, hello. Yeah, probably changing my default program. How would I do that? Like, what am I pressing that's like, okay, we're just gonna randomly change this, and there's no like thing that says, are you sure you want to change this? It just, I don't know. I reset my computer. I wonder if that could have something to do with it. Here's my other fumbling and bumbling. Why does my music software not continue to play now? Repeat is off. Is that what I need to change? You guys, it sucks to be dumb. Okay, so this torso. Oh yeah, I wanted to look up, because I feel like the basic structure is similar to a star fruit. Or is it a dragon fruit? No, I think it's a star fruit. Yes. Here we go. So, I mean, not exactly like, but it's got these ridges, right? These kind of semi, I would want to say maybe they're cartilaginous. David says, Windows updates will change it sometimes. Opening pictures in different programs can auto-change the default if you aren't careful. Big Thing 8 says, I'm new, been watching your videos. They have been really inspiring. Thank you. Hey, you're welcome, Big Thing 8. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to think of an animal that is shaped like a star fruit. I'm thinking of maybe there's sea anemones, sea cucumbers. I don't know. There's got to be something. So this kind of has, what are those, like pinstripes? I don't know, like vertical ridges running down it. So give me some ideas, guys. What kind of animal has a body like that I can look at for inspiration? Aletha, hello. Dottie, hi. What was the, oh, sea cucumber was the other thing I was going to try. Trying to think. So other cylinder-shaped animals are like snakes and centipedes. Like almost all things are things like that are segmented horizontally. They don't have vertical. Oh, here's some vertical ridges running down. That is about younger skin, so somehow I doubt that's going to tell me what sea cucumber that actually is out of the 8 billion that exist. Isla Puse on Ayala. Hi, A. Welcome. What is this guy? Hey, my music went to another song. I won this round. What's this guy? This guy has both vertical and horizontal super long cucumbers. Okay, are you gonna say what it is? Nope. Nope, super not helpful. Thanks for nothing. I mean, maybe fruit is going to be the closest thing to what I'm looking for. I mean, essentially what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get these vertical lines to have baggy skin hanging over them, right? So it's not really taut skin. You know, it's obviously kind of bagging down at the bottom, and I can play with making it more or less baggy, but it's pronounced Kayla without the K. Ayla. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that clarification. Okay, so I'm just gonna mess around a little bit on the back. So if the skin was really tight, I'd expect to see like these kind of tight stretchies between them. I wonder if maybe it's okay for it to be a little tighter near the top and then sag as it goes lower. That's kind of what's going on with the arms. Big Thing 8 says, what about Gizmodo? I don't know what a Gizmodo is. Star Wars? Come from the future? Gizmodo is a design, technology, science, and science fiction website that also features articles on politics. Okay, that's where I've heard of it from. Oh, you're probably not referring to a creature with vertical cartilaginous structure. Gotcha. Gizmodo is a round-shaped cylinder animal. You are referring to that. Well, okay, that's not what Mr. Internet told me about it. This is what a Gizmodo is according to Google. Letha says, I found a picture of a wrinkly dog that might be close, but I can't think of what it's called. Is it a hairless dog, I assume? My mom had a dog like that. I believe it's a Chinese crested. It's got some good saggy bags on the bottom. But yeah, I really want to see what it's like those, something that's vertical. Chew, hey Chew, says a bit delayed, but if your pics open up in a strange program again, you can right click the image, click properties, and where it says open with, you can select the program it defaults to. Yeah, I'm familiar with that process. Problem is, I have no idea what the program that it's open in now is. This one that I like, that has the little zoom feature. Like, there's no names on this. There's no question marks to hit. Oh, here's some buttons, see more. I could send feedback and be like, what program is this? I don't know. Letha says Sharpie or Sharpay, but like on the face. The body's wrinkles are the wrong way. Okay, look up a sure. I'm gonna pronounce it Sharpay because I feel fancier saying that. Oh, these guys. Oh, wow. Yeah, those are some delightful wrinkles. Boy. Yeah, I wonder if you imagine this image but upside down. But again, like, these are all kind of going around a spherical thing. I need to know what they're going to look like going over like a bird cage looking understructure. She says it looks like the default Windows photo viewer. David says that's just photo viewer. Okay. Is that literally what it's called? Photo viewer? Next time it opens up in something crazy, I will look and see. Oh, geoduck. Geoducks are those things that look incredibly inappropriate. They have the largest reproductive organ for their size, I believe. Okay, yeah, this guy's got interesting wrinkles for sure. Good. Huh. I'll bet you anything this video is going to get flagged as inappropriate. Yeah, I mean, that kind of has a vertical thing, but it's also very kind of uniformly distributed around it. Morikaida says it's Win10 app called Photos. It's horrible. Okay, well, it's better than the other thing because it has a zoom, and that's what I really want. I want to be able to go here, move here, and have that reference right there. David says, yes, it's literally called Photo Viewer or Windows Photo Viewer or sometimes just Photo. Okay, I'm just gonna, I'm not having luck finding reference, so I'm just going to do the old fallback strategy of randomly try things in random directions and see what looks good and what doesn't. Experiment kind of on the back and sides mostly. So I've got a lot of thicker skin up here, so I feel like a lot of the weight or the kind of directionality of the folds is going to be a motion like this. So imagining if I'm pulling down on that, I'm going to end up with lines something like this. That is just my impulse. Don't know how accurate it is. So I'm just going to try it and see what happens. So if it is falling down that way, going to have a nice sort of bib-like effect coming around the front. Light strike! Hi, light strike! Struck me with light. Not really, that's just the computer monitor. And my hue lights that don't actually change their hue. Okay, so like here I can see a pretty regular-ish stretching across this gap. That makes some sense to me. Again, try not to be too regular with it. And then some amount of extra skin bumping over the ridges will give it a looser sack-like appearance, which is what I'm going for. I added these bumps too early. Can't say that I did it too early, because I needed to do that to really decide the direction I wanted to go with his skin. So it's good that I did it, but it's kind of cramping my wrinkle flow evaluation right now. Has anyone seen Black Panther? I'm quite tired of superhero movies, but then I keep being surprised by new ones that I like. Like Thor, I really enjoyed. Wolverine, whatever that last Wolverine movie was actually really great. There's another really good one. Oh, Deadpool was a long time ago. By today's standards, a long time ago. I think the second one's coming out soon. I may have seen a preview for it. I don't know. Yeah, so they keep finding ways to kind of freshen it up, and I'm always surprised by that. But then I feel like I have also ended up watching superhero movies. I'm just like, Alright, I get it. I've seen this 1,000 times. Oh, it's because I keep somehow seeing the DC movies. That's why. Wonder Woman had a lot of great stuff in it, but it was still pretty formulaic. And that, oh, the villain in that movie was so bad. Just white CG orc guy with a helmet with zero personality and zero motive. Is this working? Is this something? Try to work a couple negative spots in there to keep my verticality telegraphed through those wrinkles, which I think is mostly still happening, but there's a few places it seems to be getting lost. Damon says, yep, I saw it. I think the hype was a little overkill. It was okay, but not amazing. Fell into too many tropes. Anita said, wait, what movie? I walked away for a second. Black Panther. I have this amazing topical, ethical quandary that will be settled at the end. Who can punch better in a badly choreographed cat fight? Okay. Yeah, gosh, very few superhero movies escape the end boss problem that just turns into either shooting beams or punching each other repeatedly with no indication of if damage is actually being done, and if so, how much, and there's just like no tension in it whatsoever. They did a really clever end boss fight in Doctor Strange. There was a typical villain that they had to fight with punching and kicking and stuff, but then there was like the weird god devil space alien monster thing that he had to fool by out-clevering him. That was really fun. Mordecai says, one of my favorite things to do is lay the entire movie out in my head and then watch it to see how close right I was. Yeah, you know, that's a game that's getting easier and easier as things get more and more formulaic. As the price of entertainment gets higher and higher, the decisions made at the top get safer and safer, which means relying more and more on what has been done before. So it's pretty easy to pick up on patterns. I don't know if having... Okay, so I'm trying to do this thing where there's like a bulge of skin that's going over my vertical cartilage thing. I'm pretty much imagining a bird cage, right? You know, the bird cage that has just, you know, all vertical lines on it and comes up to a little point. So I'm imagining that's kind of his, not his bone structure, but his cartilage structure under here. And then draping a really heavy, velvety, you know, like thick, maybe not carpet thick, but well, I guess it's supposed to be kind of amphibious skin, so whatever frog skin is. It's between amphibian and reptile. I still want it to have a little bit of rigidity and a little indication of scales, kind of like a soft shell turtle has. Ayla says, I also really like Doctor Strange. I honestly didn't think it would be as good as it was, but I was happily surprised. I'm at that really awkward stage where it's like, I feel like if I continue this direction, I'll probably get somewhere, but I'm not super confident that I will. So I could wipe it all out and try something totally different, or I can, you know what, I've been going down this road, let's just keep pushing on it. Letha says, get a bird cage and throw a blanket over it. Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all. I wanted to do that. I could just spin some wire and drape some fabric over it. In fact, I think when I sculpted him traditionally, many years ago, I did something very similar to that. I draped like a sweater or something over a trash can or something to try to get the wrinkles. I'm not really happy with how the wrinkles turned out on the first one though, which is why I kind of, yeah, it was in a trash can. Just for reference, I'll show you what that looked like real quick. Oh, I don't have it in there. Yeah, so this is the one I sculpted originally. Oh, look. Okay. Here's the different thing. It looks the same, but it doesn't have a... So why? I haven't restarted my computer, I haven't done anything. Open with photos. Try that. And that works. Okay. Weird. Okay, and there's a way to tell it to do that as default, right? Open with. Yes. So choose another app. Always use this app. And now it's not on this list. What? Why would you do that? Is there a search in here? Look for another app on this PC. Oh my. Yeah, typing. Oh, Windows Photo Viewer, is that it? No items match. Oh, maybe this is it. Imaging devices? Let's see what happens. Nope. That ain't it. Oh, Windows. How many versions have you had to figure this out? I guess I just have to do that every time. Okay, anyway. Wrinkles. Here we go. So this kind of saggy baggy look where it's and this does this not have a next and last? Okay, so that other viewer had a next and last arrow that you can click on. This does not. What is this? Rotate now. Incredible. I wonder if the people who design these programs ever use them. Like, I know on the games that I work on, there are bugs and there are clearly things we wish we could have done better. But I mean, this is just such a what am I asking this program to do? I'm asking it to open an image, to zoom in and out, and to go to the next and the last. That is what I want. And look, now there's arrows. Before there weren't. Why? We don't know. We're not going to tell you. Is it because I was zoomed? Okay. Oh. And now I can't click it. This is incredible. Oh, wait. They were there for a minute. Then they went away. Oh my god. Okay, Wrinkles. Look what's going on here. So, this is what I'm unsatisfied with. Is just, it looks to me like a raisin or a bigger fruit that is like a prune. I don't know, whatever another dried fruit is. Yeah. Damon says maybe look up pumpkins for a reference, or moldy pumpkins. Damon says go to that menu to change the default and do a search again for photos with the quotes. But make sure you are searching the entire computer, not just both. Okay. This is gripping art happening right now before you guys. Okay, choose another app. Always use this app. Oh wait, photos. Okay, yes. Was it always at the top? I'm gonna have to go back afterwards and see if it was always at the top. Okay, anyway. Yeah, I think the reason that I felt like I needed to add these vertical elements was to make him not look just like a giant prune or a California raisin. Also thinking, kind of inspired by these dogs that Aletha pointed me to. Not this dog. This dog. Kind of inspired by the size of their rolls. So I'm gonna see what happens if I get a little more aggressive with this. I think that'll also help the scale because these guys are supposed to be pretty small. They're the size of a toddler. And so having a lot of little intricate wrinkles would make them seem either incredibly thin-skinned or like mummified or something, or like they're bigger than they are, so. Aletha says, I like the raisin prune look. Damon says, we did it, Reddit. I don't think this is Reddit. Are you on Reddit? I think this is YouTube. Okay, so I'm thinking if I put a big old fat wrinkle or two. Probably sticking out to the side a little more than I want, but I'm just gonna go with it for now. I guess the thicker these rolls are, the more they're going to cover the vertical elements, which is not something I want. Although having kind of thicker rolls and ridges around the back coming off of this big kind of back hump thing, I can see that being a good route to go. Just mixing in these bigger with the smaller seems better to me, maybe? Yeah, it's not so convincing when they get kind of wavy like this, but these rolls are the defining feature. You're not seeing muscles or tendons or anything under there. It's just like rolls on rolls on rolls. And I mean, maybe that's the direction I need to go with it, but I'm not convinced yet. Big Thing 8 says Jabba the Hutt. This says, I think the bigger rolls around the bottom back look good. Let me try doing some of this counter move. That always tends to make me happy for whatever reason. Big Thing 8 says, what clay are you going to use for this sculpture, and what is this program called? Sorry, I'm such a noob. So the reason I'm doing it on the computer instead of traditionally sculpting it like I did before is I'm doing, well, it's a lot faster to do on the computer, and B, I'm trying to make a process for doing book covers for this series of books that I'm producing that are all consistent. I want people, when they see a book cover from Tales from Talifar, they instantly recognize, oh, this is a Tales from Talifar book, regardless of what type of character is on the cover. The idea is they're all going to have some kind of sculpted bust of the main protagonist. And so for the second book in this trilogy, I've got kind of the co-star of the series, which is Scolla here, and so I've rendered out a yeah, it started snowing around 6. In fact, let me real quick go to my Facebook. Go away. Okay. Where's my page? Here we go. Somewhere here, I have a picture of the one book that I did. Okay, right, so here's how I've got the trilogy planned out right now. So yeah, this is the first one is a bow mark here, and so this is at the stage where I'm pretty happy with it, and then this is going to be the second one. With Scolla. Now this is not rendered out well yet. This is just a very rough version of him, and then this is the third character for the third book. So yeah, Scolla's done in, or sorry, Bowmark is done in bronze because he's kind of a bronze-skinned dude. Scolla is going to be, you know, carved in onyx, or look like onyx because he's black. And then Lilk here is in white marble because her people powder themselves to look very, very white. So, and then we've got other books in this series as well that are going to have other characters that will be whatever is appropriate for their character. So, I think that answers your question. Oh, and the program that I'm working in is called Zbrush. And so anytime you see monsters and power armor and that sort of stuff in movies, it was 99% sculpted in this program, Zbrush. This is what's used in games and movies to do all the CG. Okay, so I feel like this is definitely going in a good direction. It's not working here so much, but okay, so here's a thought. This guy, when he gets angry for defense, he swells up like a puffer fish and his spines poke out. And so I kind of wanted his spines when he's deflated like this to be laying down in the grooves between his folds and stuff. That's another thing I did not like about my sculpture, was they just looked really haphazardly plonked in there. They didn't look like they were naturally grown. And so I wanted to get this line effect going on. And so I'm thinking maybe the front of him, kind of the front and back, swell out the most, and the sides don't go quite as much, because if you think about it, he's got these arms, and if he's got spines poking straight out, he's gonna end up impaling himself on them. Because unlike a pufferfish who only has these little fins, he's got limbs to deal with. Yeah, so I'm thinking that maybe the more, like the smaller, tighter wrinkles being on the front and the back is good, and the sides being kind of these bigger, chunkier rolls could work fine. Wondering what happens if I push the vertical kind of up through the rolls. I don't think that's a good look, but I just wanted to try that. No. The rolls definitely need to cover those vertical ones. I do think they can kind of thin out and branch as they get towards the front, I think. We'll see. Yeah, no problem, big thing. That's what I'm here for, is to answer questions. Show my process and answer folks' questions. Thanks, hon, for making it 40 degrees colder in here. You taking snow pictures? Okay, so I've got shoulder blades that are kind of acting as anchor points that the skin is draping down from. So maybe having a drape like this will work. Don't know. Throw in some shade. Who was I throwing shade at? Oh, Heather for, yeah, she just went out to take pictures and left the door open for 10 minutes. It's snowing here.
Hey, payback. I almost couldn't walk it back in. But I pinched something in. My femur is partially dislocated now.
Oh.
God forbid.
Yeah, you're not allowed to move or do things, remember? Don't know how I'm feeling about this back area right now. Yep.
I did a post about that.
Yeah, this is a really weird, awkward triangle here. Like, you got heavy skin, would it then, like, do this kind of a thing? Where then it splits? Let's ask our doggo friends if that's the case. Sharpay, is that what they're called? Okay, it does look like these big old thick wrinkles can indeed create Y-shaped splits. That's good to know. That's pretty interesting how it this one just dead ends there. Like, whenever I sculpt that, it looks wrong. And I don't know why, because apparently it's a thing. It probably has to do with some subtle nuances of how it should kind of fold and disperse into the other wrinkles. But yeah, I'll go ahead and try. If my computer would respond, that'd be cool. Okay. Yeah, so let's see if I've got a Y split here. Damon says, how on earth did you partially dislocate your femur? Has to do with degenerative diseases galore.
My connective tissue doesn't hold it in, so it's tilted and tipped out.
There you go, you heard it here first.
Yep.
Connective tissue disorder.
Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Man, it's a blast.
The favorite disease you've never heard of.
It is Rare Disease Month.
This month is Rare Disease Month?
Yeah.
So you heard it here, guys. Go out and get a rare disease this month.
Quite a few to choose from, so.
I recommend finding some kind of weird parasite in a jungle.
Only if it doesn't make your butt look good.
No?
You lose weight?
Oh, right. So you can lose weight.
Yeah. Tapeworms.
Tapeworm is not a disease.
I know.
Oh, well, I did
Parasite.
specifically say parasite, which, you're right. Parasite is not a disease. My bad. It's not Rare Parasite Month. Hopefully that's next month.
Usually I'm the one confused about conversation.
Well, this is turning more into a messy raisin look than I was hoping, but I'm not against it yet. Just gonna keep following it and see where it leads me. Follow the happy trail through the happy trees. Maybe I'll find a happy bush with a happy bush friend next to it. Damon says, my wife has one already. Mayo Clinic can't figure it out even. Some sort of fungal infection that won't go away. Going on 5 years with it or so. Ugh. That sounds like you need Dr. House to figure it out.
Oh man,
Have you guys tried going to Dr. House?
yeah.
We would if we could afford it.
It might be tricky.
Does he work at the Mayo Clinic?
He works in the house.
Oh, good one. Okay. Going off. Off symmetry now. Because I'm getting to the front and things look really weird. You start getting a Rorschach test looking creature when you're doing wrinkles that are symmetrical. So I'm going to start pushing and pulling these in different directions. Damon says no name for it. We've made the house joke many times. Yeah, I think everyone with mysterious undiagnosed illnesses probably makes the house joke many times over the years. Kayla says time to go get Kuru, I suppose. I don't know what Kuru is. Is that a that sounds like a some kind of medicinal like root type of naturopath cure to me. One of the best parts about living with mysterious degenerative diseases is all your well-meaning friends telling you just need to do aromatherapy or other natural remedies.
Can't you eat collagen? No, it's the genetic part that, that goes through your intestines.
Just have more vitamin E.
Although I'm supposed to, I know.
You should rub vitamin E on parts that ail you. That's what we were told. One of me.
But I have to say, I started going to the UW Medical
That's
Center,
University of Washington, for those of you not in the know.
teaching college, and they have been amazing. So never in my life have I been so, I guess taken care of, but doctors who actually like the patient. And I think
Care and understand and actually want to figure out the
they wanna
problem
hear
instead
what
of
the
just
patient-
prescribing you something to get you out of the way.
Yeah, because I think it's part of just being the teacher, the teaching school, but it's easy. And they're not afraid if you look on the internet. They actually like that. They respect it, actually.
Yeah, Heather is one of those people that will go do crazy amounts of research on everything. So she's an incredible advocate for herself and others.
Well, it doesn't, assuming I'm reading.
Yeah.
I did right, but I do read.
You don't have a medical degree.
I read full abstracts. Although I do know one. Yeah.
Somehow I moved a vert some crazy amount of distance. Oh, there it is. Up in his armpit. Probably happened when I was doing a selection. I masked off some area and probably accidentally tapped a little area there, and then I moved something and that pulled a massive hole into his body. That does sound like a rare disease. Damon says, if I could get $1 for every time my wife has been suggested to just do a cleanse.
Oh my god. Those things kill me. Oh,
There's all these people who have minor issues in their life, and then they'll do some random naturopath thing that has a what is that effect called? The placebo effect. And they're like, oh, this works great, and then suddenly they become evangelists for some wacky thing and tell everyone that will take care of them. They just would take their advice.
Some people get really mad too when you're like, yeah, I've done that. It didn't
Like, oh,
work.
you didn't do it right.
Yeah, they get so pissed off that it didn't work, and it's like, hey.
Let's see. Big Thing 8 says, my daughter has ITP since she was 1 year old. Now she's 2 and better.
ITP.
I don't know what ITP is. That's not like ICP, is it? Insane Clown Posse?
Probably jokes.
Ayla says, Kuru is a disease caused by prions, if I'm not mistaken. I think partially from eating human brains. Oh my. That's a good rare disease to have.
I'm gluten-free. No.
I think human brains are gluten-free. Yeah, we'll have to ask next time we're at Trader Joe's.
Do I remember better if I eat more brains?
Pretty sure that's how that works.
Yeah, it cures dementia.
This kind of looks like a big artery or vein running down here. I'm not super jazzed about that. I wonder if it'll make it better or worse if I kind of split it off a little bit. Damon says, everyone knows the abstracts are the best part of research paper anyways. No, the best part of research papers are the meta.
Well, not the abstracts, but I mean, I can follow along the abstracts.
Do you read the white papers?
That get me to the real studies. What?
The white papers. Those,
I don't know what that is.
White paper is like, here's my theory, fellow professionals. I'm breaking it down for you. Tell me if this is worth pursuing. At least those are the types of white papers I've seen before. Or here's research that I've been doing, and these are my tentative conclusions. It's like short of a full research thing. Maybe leading up to it.
The abstracts are good because if you read a few, even like 2, about the same thing, you'll see how each researcher did it to set up their groups differently or whatever, but it kind of helps you to have a better path to understanding what you're trying to look for, because sometimes you don't know what to research. So you research
just typing in a list of symptoms isn't always the best way, right?
No, and because it's the medical terms that get the legit medical terms that get you to the actual findings and papers. Like I was recommended to get surgery using both of my SI joints, and oh my gosh, I started digging around into the IQ's method. It's like where they basically pound implants into your SI joint, and then your bone grows through it and it fuses with it. But anyways, because my right SI joint is like basically dislocated or something. Like it's not stable at all. So
ITP is idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura. Wow, I can see why people call it ITP.
Thrombocytopenic purpura. The viral infection?
Disorder that can lead to excessive bruising or bleeding. Oh, poor baby.
My kids are just starting out. This is terrible.
Yeah, I agree. We should ban diseases and kids. That's what I think. Yeah, it says it's also known as the laughing sickness because it can, not ITP, but the other one she said, because it can cause you to have uncontrollable fits of laughter before it kills you. It's perfect for Rare Disease Month, right? That had to be on an episode of House.
I know, sure. They're like, in the memoir, it's like, or memorial. Like if I had it, they're like, well, you know, Heather, she died laughing, and she always had that positive spin. By the way, I totally have already just like planned out my funeral. It's gonna be hilarious.
It's true. Heather has a great funeral plan.
Yeah. And
bring your own pie, right? You're gonna have a stand-up comic instead of a.
No, I think it'd be like an illusionist, but like
an
funny illusionist. And then
illusion.
My brainstorm, or just out of the blue idea, like last week was kind of like swag bags, and it's really like just handing out one of those like decorative little pouches, but it has some of my ash.
Swag bags with human remains in it. That sounds
stupid.
Great.
I mean, like I was probably doing something like unlocking the door when I thought of it. It's just dumb things. It'll be funny. And it should be funny. And I'll be there to make sure that everyone's having a good time because I will, quote, live vicariously.
Damon says, I think your wrinkles aren't deep enough and Scolla is slowly turning into a pruny fingerprint.
Kind of looks like a date.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I ran into before, is raisin, date, prune.
Well, but Scolla has more, he has a little bit of a form, though, underneath on your sculpture.
Yeah.
The four legs kind of puffs it out to where it's going to be a droopy mess.
It's just going to be a droopy mess, huh?
I personally like the 2 legs version.
Wow, you're fired.
I'm not ever going to read this book. Not because I don't want to, but again, I like medical stuff.
If I turn it into a medical treatise, then will you read it? Okay, let's see if I can make my wrinkles deeper. What will that do? So my idea for how to make them deeper is to cut in around the bottom to give them some kind of weight. And then maybe just kind of, don't want to get it like that. Mask. Okay, let me try this trick. So I start out light and then heavy as I get to the bottom of it. Give that sag some real weight and actually have a shelf underneath that it's hanging down on. That'll probably help get it away from that veiny look that I wasn't happy with. Okay, I'm gonna save this as number 9. Yep, big thing, we were just researching it. Low level of platelets. Yeah, I'm sorry you guys are dealing with that. Having babies that are suffering is the worst feeling. I have 2 kids myself, and man, when they were sick and little, that was the most helpless, horrifying, miserable feeling. Okay. So now that I'm back on the old version, I'm going to just do something radically different. Just see what happens. I'm just gonna go full Sharpie on it. See what happens. Smooth the hairy heck out of it. It's gonna make a pile of wrinkles. I think he's gonna end up looking like the poop emoji, but we'll see. Letha says, I think it's Sharpay. Yeah. Ayla says, big thing, 8. I'm sorry, your little girl is going through that, but glad she's doing better now. Is that something that kids tend to grow out of? Or is it like a medicine thing that you need? Little pectorals. Damon, yeah, we did ban this song, but whatever this stupid program is, oh, look at this, it's playing it twice just to rub it in. Yeah, I deleted stuff from my playlist, and when I did that, I clicked on a thing, whatever the song was, and I said delete. And I was like, you sure you want to delete this? It won't be available on your other devices or whatever. I'm like, I don't care. This is just for my desktop for live streams. Hit OK. What that did was delete the whole thing. So I literally have no idea how to delete just one song off the playlist. Incredible the things that I don't know how to do on a computer. Let me tell you. I mean, it's too late. I already did. I already did tell you. Okay, so he definitely just kind of looks like a fat Jabba looking dude like this. I don't want him to look like fat Jabba dude. I'm trying to think of another way to express the Sharpay rolls without that's not this. I can't think of one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and save it in case I want to come back to that. Save that as 8, and I'm gonna load up 9. Yeah, I want him to look like a deflated sack. And this definitely looks more like a deflated sack. Yes, Alita, I agree. That looked awful. Oh yeah, let's look at, not this guy, but, where's my Kit Kat? This guy. Okay. I forget, what did I have to do to make it use the right thing? Because I thought I open with photos. Okay, so here we have like a sternum or something, some bony protuberance, and we have flesh kind of hanging off of it in interesting ways. Like I could almost see this being draw with an artistic touch. I can see this as being his bottom lip here, and then this, you know, his body comes down like so, and his arms out like this. So this might be a good kind of reference and anchor, and if I can kind of get this right, maybe I can propagate that down. I am noticing that it's doing, you know, going into these horizontal rolls again. So I've kind of got some of that flow going. But I can push it more to be this sort of a thing. Maybe do a search for stretched deflated balloons. Make sure you have safe search on. Yeah, there are those balloons, those really big ones that kind of have ridges on them, aren't there? But I don't think they have any of that, like, cross stretching to them. I don't want to risk it on a live stream, but I'll consider that for after. Okay, so let's say this whole area needs to be a little flatter. And we're gonna say, so this bottom lip here is an anchor. Always looking for anchors to help make sense of how things hang. So it's basically all the weight's pulling it down like so. It's going to be crossing these areas that are coming from the shoulder and back. Which, see, all of that, I feel like I could totally do that, no problem. It'd be similar to how I did the arms. But then I'm completely losing those ridges. Now I'm wondering, have I tried being super tight with the ridges? Let me, okay. Let's try something again. Let's do this again. Okay, now I'm going to try another version. Subdivisions on this. Okay, so this was Dynamesh. That's annoying. I'm gonna try to mostly wipe, well, not really wipe these wrinkles out, but minimize them quite a bit. And then, let's see what happens if I draw, go into symmetry mode again.
I cannot exist in my world's view. Does the depth of self mean I'm nearer to you? Reach for the crown. Is interest a pure thought conveyed in paths I choose? From Catha to Malcolm, my ego has brought me to ruin. There's a sign around me. There's crying about me. The shadows descend to wake me of my will.
Make this a little
The signs of the time seem
less sharp.
There's a sign around me. There's crying, crying,
Okay. Now, let's invert that selection and there we go. Beautiful. Gonna need to make them quite a bit smaller. Thinner, I guess. For some reason this pattern is reminding me of a particular Ewok. I think I had one of the toys that had stripes just like this. think to really do this the way I'm thinking, I need to have almost a blank slate for it. David says, I think it's hard to find vertical fold examples because as far as I can tell from my armchair science, folds and wrinkles tend to follow the typical body movement for the creature. And there isn't any creatures with movement in that direction. Yeah, well, because it's not the folds and wrinkles that I want to be vertical, it's an understructure that's vertical. Okay, I'm gonna try. Gonna really tear into this. Get it as blank slate as I can. This would go a lot faster if I had subdivision levels on him, but I do not. Can I blur this a lot? That is my question. Masking. Blur mask. Is there no way to tell it to blur a lot all at once? That's the question. Grow mask, shrink mask. I'm going to grow it. That's going to do nothing perceptible. Okay. Grow. Maybe it's doing something. There we go. Okay. So I think if they kind of fade off at the top and bottom, the ridges will give him a more interesting shape and give me room to do some nice wrinkles around the top and bottom. That's my theory. Fade that off. But if they're pretty consistent around the middle, then the viewer can still infer that this understructure goes all the way around. Big Thing 8 says this is coming out good. Well, thank you. I feel like I've been floundering for an hour and a half, but we'll see. I'm just going to exaggerate the crap out of it just to get a sense of what I'm doing here. Actually, I may kind of exaggerate it a bit like that and then see what happens when I smooth that down. I could have spent more time making the mask even to save time doing this, but I don't know whether one would have been faster than the other. Like this kind of wobbly line is, that's no fun. I'm gonna have to fix that. Clay tubes on this. Sometimes I get in a rut when I'm only using the same, like, 2 tools over and over. It's just, I just have that momentum, you know, where, and then I start thinking only in those terms when I'm approaching problems. Alright. Now, can I mask in between these guys? Pull out their roundness just a bit. Okay. Well, I think it's hard to tell until I get the rest of the wrinkles on here, so I'm just gonna keep going with this and see what happens.
Are you still streaming?
Yep. Okay. So I'm gonna try to keep the wrinkles in the mid torso to a minimum, and just focus on what happens out here. What is going on with that? Weird little ZBrush anomalies. So annoying. Let's see, there's a clip. Let's see. Trim? I can never remember the difference between trim and clip. And slice. They all do slightly different things, and I don't know what they are. Okay, let's see what happens when I trim this. Probably going to do the opposite and like trim everything except for that. No? Oh, okay, I did it. Nice. Yay. While I have this tool out, let me fix this weird little ear issue as well. The mesh is composed of subdivision. Delete or freeze and try again. Okay. Free subdivision levels. Okay. I've literally never frozen subdivision levels. Every time they say that, I get scared and I try something else. But now's the time to try things. And apparently, it was a bad thing because now it's remapping high-res details. What? I just wanted to get rid of that stupid little thing. Why is it so hard? Get rid of a stupid little thing. Really, you're gonna? I would love to just hit escape and be like, never mind. But that could could crash it. So instead, I get to sit here held hostage by ZBrush for 3 minutes. Sorry, guys. I guess while it's doing that, I'll peruse some more reference. Let's look at chameleons, shall we? Man, it's so beautiful. Makes me more indecisive about wanting to go amphibian with him, with Scolla. Because one of the cool things about reptile Wrinkles, I was watching Planet Earth 2 the other day, and they were showing the Komodo dragons. And their wrinkles are so cool. Here's one. Pretty sure this is a Komodo. Oh, that's taxidermy. Where's a real life? I mean, they've got cool wrinkles and stuff. Oh, look at this. Here's some like nice vertical. Well, I mean, he's laying down, so they're kind of horizontal, but you know, they're going against the wrinkles on his skin. Like it looks like there's I mean, it's clearly not bones under there doing that, but there's some kind of structure under there that's keeping these areas rigid like that. He also has great little quills like Scolla could have. Huh. And his scales are so fine that they don't disrupt the nice little tidy wrinkles that I really enjoyed doing on Scolla, that I think look great on him. Yeah. So these kind of, it's almost more like paper crinkles. Like if you take a shopping bag, like a brown paper bag, and crinkle it up and like mush it up with Elmer's glue, with white glue, and then undo it, like that's kind of the look it gets. I wonder if this is more what I need to be going towards. This is a really cool reference. I mean, it's still like, if you try to grok the shape underneath this, I'm not reading much. Like, I see a cylindrical neck. I can't pick out muscles or tendons, or veins. Like, is that maybe a vein, or is that just where it wrinkles? You know, hard to say. Let's see. Are we done cooking, Zbrush? Looks like it. Did I ruin my detail? Yes. Definitely ruined stuff. Awesome. Alright, lesson learned. Don't do freeze subdivision levels unless you know exactly what you're doing. Can I undo it? Ooh, I can. Exciting. Okay, that little detour was annoying. Let's go back to our body. Can I get this kind of texture over that shape? I'm gonna find out. All right. What happens if I start adding these little micro wrinkle guys? I feel like they're kind of stiff enough where they're going to go over the understructure. We've got really nice kind of zigzaggy things going on. Although that's probably a really stupid random place to make it zigzag there, but I just kind of need to feel it out as I go to kind of learn the rules of it, I think. Already got some of that going on his arm here, so that's probably good. I like these areas where it kind of pinches up. This area here is really cool, right? Because there's this flap of skin coming, and these two arms of the skin come off of it and then like zigzag away in interesting ways. try to do something like that. So these big structural ridges that I'm giving them would be a good place for that to kind of bunch up like that, I think.
Only more from the break in me. The soaring trees provide shelter to once fallen leaves. Cries of the pain, and I feel release. To soar
I don't know if it makes sense for anything to be going down like that.
beyond this endless cycle.
I'll try some other directions.
Drowned me. Father in heaven who is above. Holy is your
I'm
name.
also thinking of like clay buildup better than clay tubes.
The nature of my claim.
No, is that not right? What was I using before?
With unfailing
Clay.
the source of change
Clay
stays
tubes
the
constant.
same. To go beyond this endless
Oh, you know something else that I usually use this brush for rocks, but I'm curious. Crumple. Let's see what happens when I do some crumple action. So here's what I'll do for a rock. So I'll just go and do this. I mean, obviously this looks terrible. What I'm spending time examining is, did I get any good kind of results out of pushing things around randomly like that? I don't know that I did. Let me try it smaller. Yeah, it's not. I didn't think that would lead to anything, but I just have to try. So I'm seeing also, well, I think I'm seeing that I want these, well, I guess I'll just call them wrinkles, these wrinkles to be smoother on the top and more of a shelf on the bottom. Although that's what the weight of skin folds do. And this is a skin fold, but reptile skin is just unique in how crinkly it is. And so I'm kind of torn between doing the more mammal-like skin folds and kind of amphibians have more mammal-like skin. I think it's just softer and suppler versus the crinkly kind of stuff that's going on reptiles. There's also a lot of subtle stuff that's going on with, you know, there's these big obvious landmark wrinkles, but then they fade down into smaller things, and then between them you see a lot of repeated smaller little guys. So I'm almost feeling like what I need to do is get those landmarks charted. Just boldly do some, you know, make some strong decisions. Say, okay, there's going to be a big crinkle here, and then what's the fallout from that? But when I haven't quite grokked the rules about what causes those big landmark features, it's hard to do that with confidence. And that's what practice is for. You just keep trying stuff and failing until you have a happy accident. And you're like, okay, now why did that work better than the other things that I did? And yeah, that's what my art career has been, pretty much. Just cycles of that. Trying new things, failing at them over and over and over until something kind of sticks. I keep wanting to put a bold crinkle on the end of one of these. I'm not sure why. I keep trying it and then backing away because it's not quite doing what I thought it would do. And then I'll go do something else, and then I come back and I try it again, and it's still not doing it. But why do I keep being drawn back to that? Is it because there's something there, my subconscious is picking up on it, but my conscience, not my conscience, my conscious, rational mind keeps rejecting it. This hole right here is so cool. I want to make that happen. I'm not sure where it should be happening on Scolla. I mean, if I was doing this just over a cylindrical neck, like this lizard has, I'd be in better shape, I think, but not. I'm really pushing myself in a stupid way to figure it out on alien anatomy instead of learning it on a regular animal and then trying to apply what I've learned onto alien anatomy. Oh, that turned out pretty nice, I think. Well, because this is following that flow, much like this guy has this kind of cheeky flow going on. And then stuff is kind of radiating out from there. Amy, hello. Well, I'm assuming that the mix will put that song on twice in a row again, just because you're here, Amy. This has this weird little kink in the wrinkle that is really interesting to me because it feels like it wants to shoot off in this direction, right? But it like hangs a hard left. It's like it's getting wrenched over, but I don't see anything that would apparently do that. I guess you kind of see echoes of it traveling up towards the head. Now I feel like I kind of lost what was neat up here through smoothing it too much or something. wonder, maybe if I took a step back and just did some very simple sort of flow lines. Say, okay, it's going to be wrinkling something like this. Does that help? Probably not, but we'll try. I suppose that way if I go in and do a bunch of these little subtle guys, much like, you know, this guy has these little things going on. I wonder if that will help to kind of anchor the larger ones in a context that makes them read better. That is my current crackpot theory. Get some variation in how much these wrinkles travel up and over the cartilage. Seems to be something. In fact, I'm going to go in and gouge some down areas as well. There's enough variety. Damon says, maybe try turning horizontal and working on it in that direction will help. You mean turning my couch horizontal or my whole house? Sure, I'll give this a try. See if it feels different, inspires me differently, who knows. I'm gonna try throwing these guys in real quick. What is going on? It must have been masked. Wow. These don't seem to fit well. Good. Just want to get a basic idea of so if these spines are laying in the groove like I originally wanted, then that gives a really nice profile to it where you just kind of see them peeking out, just the tips peeking out. They'll probably be laying more flat actually, but then you could easily imagine if, you know, the pockets get filled with gas, those things are gonna just stick straight out. And that would be awesome. What time is it, you guys? Is it late? Feels late. Okay, yeah, I've been going almost 2 hours. Let's pick this up again next time. Spent a lot of time trying things, which is an important part of arting. Yeah. So I'm saving this on number 10. Yeah, I think I'm liking this best so far. Once I get these reptile wrinkles down, I think I'll be pretty happy with it. I think it'll be more. He'll have more amphibious, sacky flesh around here, but then it'll kind of get stiffer and more reptilian as it's more stuck to the rest of his body. I think. That's the way my mind's going right now. We'll find out. We'll find out next time, you guys. Alright. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. As always, go like the Breath of Life Art Studio Facebook page. And should you follow me on Instagram? I mean, I post there every couple months, so maybe you should. I don't even know what my name is there. But if you go to my website, breathoflifeart.com, there's a little button on the bottom that's like follow on, and it has all the things you can follow. And one of them is Instagram. So go to that if you're an Instagram type of person. Alright, yeah. Good night, everyone. Isla, Aletha, Amy, Dottie, Damon, and company. Who else? Big Thing. Yeah, you guys are all awesome for coming out. See you guys next time. Bye.